So welcome to today's video. I'm going to show you how to edit a video using the CapCut new desktop feature. So here you can see on the screen that I've already opened up CapCut here on my desktop, and I want to add a video into the project so that I can start work. So here it's opened up the desktop CapCut suite. Now if you haven't seen what all of these things along the top do or what this bar along here does, then do check out the other video that I've got associated with this playlist. What we want to do first of all is add the video that we want to edit into CapCut. So click the import button, and it's going to open up your file. So I've already got one here ready. So all I need to do is click import. Now what it does is it brings that into here, but it will give you a preview window here. So you can see what your video is doing in here. It also tells you a little bit about what's going on over here, about what your video is called and the name that it's given it. Now I am on the CapCut Pro version, so I do have access to some of the other features. If you're not seeing those features when you work on CapCut yourself, then do have a little look at the Pro version, because I think that it is really good value for money. If you've bought the CapCut Pro on your mobile phone, then you will be able to use this desktop version included in that purchase. So if you went ahead and bought it on your mobile phone, then just log in like you did on your mobile phone. Now if you bought it through your Apple phone like I did, then you just have to log in under the Apple option when you get the login page. Okay, so how do we start? So we've brought in our video here. All we need to do is drag this video down to the editing area. So this area along the bottom is the editing area. Now I like to stretch out my timeline so that I can actually make finer cuts. So what you want to do for that is come over here and just grab this toggle and bring it a bit longer. Now you can see where then that you've got 0 to 30 seconds to a minute. If I bring it back down to where it was, you can see that it's 0 to like 4.5, 5 minutes. So it's really hard for you to make cuts. So the best thing about this and other editing tools, but this particularly, is you can stretch out the timeline to how far or small you want to have access to it. Now, all you do is you press play. So CapCut is now on the desktop. So you just work through what you want to do regarding the cutting. So we're going to go along here. As you can see, I've clicked here. Now you see I have this break, this sort of like pause in speech from here to here. So what I want to do is I want to take that out. So what you do is you bring this, your timeline pointer here. So listen to it again. Here. So I'm going to stop it there. And then all you need to do is you come here and it says split. So go ahead and split. Now, if that's not working, make sure that you've clicked the timeline with your mouse so that you can highlight it. So we're going to press play again. And then before I start talking, I'm going to click the split button again. Now, over here, I have this tracking magnet. So basically what it means is when you make a cut, you'll see that the timeline is going to move over automatically. I highly recommend that you start having this on. So it's already switched on as default. And the reason I say keep it on is because it will always lock it together. So if you don't want them on and you want to move this manually, then go ahead and turn them off. But I definitely think that if you're just starting out at editing, or you want it to be a much more smoother process, keep that on. So when I cut here, so I'm going to click this and I've split it. Now, I don't want this middle bit here in my video anymore. So all I need to do is click the delete button on my keypad. And what it's done is it cuts that out. And as you can see, it actually moved that timeline across. So now if I go back, I've clicked here and here we are with this mini dashboard. So you see how I removed that pause, and it's natural to have a pause like that when we're video recording, because sometimes we just pause because we're thinking. Sometimes we pause because we might have lost our train of thought. But the great thing about being able to edit is that you can then just cut those things out. So you see I'm moving it into the right position. So I want to cut that out as well. So again, I'm going to come here. Project. split it. So once you've split it, carry on till you get to the bit you want to split again. Click on the timeline area that you want to work on and click split. Again, highlight the bit you want to cut out and press delete. Go back and just check that it works smoothly. And then I want to show you how to add in some of the features. So here, where I swap from having a screen share to me, I want to put a transition in there. So I'm going to stretch my timeline out a little bit more so that I can see where the break happens.
Play with.
So here,
play with.
So I would go in the middle, and I'm going to split that by clicking the split button. And now I'm going to come up here where it says transitions, and I'm going to choose a transition to put in between the bit before and the bit after. So I'm going to add a transition in. So you can test the transitions by clicking on it once,
play with.
And you can see how that works. Again,
play with.
Again,
play with.
So you see how they all the different transitions work. So you have to decide
play with.
How or which type you want. So if you want it, you just click the plus button and it's added that transition in. So then we go back and we watch it a bit.
So that brings an end.
And it's added that transition in. Now that transition will basically just catch the eye of your viewer and help keep them on your video, and it keeps their attention going. Because if you've got the same scene all the time, sometimes that can actually, people can get a bit bored. Even though the information's good, they might get a little bit bored. So also what I'm going to do here is show you how you can actually put an outline on the person. So if I go to effects, I might want to like really make her or me sort of jump out. So I might want to put this on me. So if I click on there, you can see how I've got that outline. If I wanted it to be like a rainbow edge,
CapCut Editor.
So I'm going to add this one by clicking the plus button, and it's going to add it just for the time that I want. So maybe when it first comes into this area.
So that brings an end to this brief overview of the CapCut Editor.
I want to keep it. Now you can of course stretch it along for longer or shorter depending on the effect that you want. Another thing that I want to show you how to do is to add some stickers in. So I'm talking here about ending the video. If I were wanting want a question, so all you do is you go to the sticker area, you search for questions, and you wait for that to come up, and then you can see all these different icons that you can use, which are different ways of adding a little bit of different features to your video. So let's look at this one. So I'm going to add that, and I'm going to drag it to where this bit is here. Now it's a sticker, so what I can do is I can move it so it's not on my face, and I can also make it smaller or bigger depending on what I want it to do. So we can have that come in here.
Questions, drop them in.
Now you can also over here add some animation to it. So when you click on the animation, you have these options to get it to bounce in, spring in, slide up, you know, whatever you want. And you can also do that for the out, so you can do something different for out, and you can have it loop so that it will do
in the comments,
different things while it's working. So you can decide what and how you want those to be used. So once you've added it in, it's going to be there. So if I just show you,
just drop them in the comments. Don't forget to hit subscribe on my channel
so you can see. So another thing that I've asked there is for people to hit subscribe. So again, go to the stickers and go to YouTube subscribe, and there you'll get some different animated options. So again, you can just choose whichever one you want to use. So maybe I'll go for this one, which is quite good because the little hand is moving. So click on that to see what it looks like.
Learn more about using CapCut.
Add it in by clicking the plus button. Again, resize it so it's not on your face. Maybe put it over here. Again, if you want to have animation going in, you click on it, and then out we can do maybe spin out. So that's how that works. So those are the sort of features that are really useful. Now, if you're doing a screen share like I am here, and I want to point to something, again, you can use stickers for pointing. So I can do point and then you can have these different stickers. So I could add this one to my screen. If I add it in, I can then change the size of it, change the direction and the position, and you can have that on your screen for as long or as short as you want it to go on to. And again, you can have some animation to make that work better for you. So you can do those sorts of things as well. So that's pretty much what you can do with your video. Now, of course, there are all sorts of different things. If you wanted music in the background as well, so while you're talking, you have some slight audio, what I suggest you do is bring this down to shorter so you can see the whole timeline in your screen. Come up here where it says audio, and you can have sound effects, you can have TikTok sounds, and you can have brand music, or you can have music. So listen to it. And if you want to use it, just bring your cursor back to the beginning, click plus, and it's going to add it in. And what you can do is you can cut the end off where it dies down, and then bring the cursor to where that ends, and then add it in again. And again, then just bring the end of the video, of the audio to the end of your video. And then if you want it to fade out, over here you can add the fade out so it fades out over maybe like 6 seconds. You can also reduce the volume right down so that when you're talking it doesn't go over the top of you. And then of course with the fade out, I would make this a little bit bigger so you can see what you're doing. Come up here, I'll turn the volume up a little bit so you can hear. Now once you're happy with your video and you're happy with all the edits that you've done, what we can do now is we can generate some captions for it. So you come up here to the caption option, you choose the spoken language, and if you want to, you can choose a bilingual caption option, but I'm not going to do that now. But if you did, you click it and you choose the language that you want to change it to, and you can go from there. So I would experiment with that if you want that to happen. You can then press generate, and what it's going to do is it's going to generate the captions for your video. Now the captions are going to show up on your video, they're going to be burnt into your video so that whichever platform you put it on, you're always going to have the captions showing up. Now if you don't want the captions burnt onto your video, and perhaps maybe for YouTube you don't want that to happen and you want the SRT file, which is the audio file of your video, stay tuned because I'm going to show you how to do that exactly. So you can see now that the audio here, all of the captions that we have here are showing up here, and you can go through and make sure that all the spelling is correct. So you will have to just go through your video and make sure the spelling is correct, because obviously it's going to pick up the words from what you're speaking, so there may be some errors in there, so it's best practice to go through and check that they're all correct. Now if for any reason you want to export just this caption file as an SRT file, up here where the export button is, you can choose to just do the captions. So you can see here you've got captions, SRT, and you've got video. So I unclick the video, it's just going to bring out the SRT file for you. So what you do is you just wait for it to be ready, and then you can click export, and it will save the SRT file for you. So what you can do is you can take that off and export it, and those captions will be exported into your folder. Now, if you didn't want the captions to show up on the video when you go to upload it, but you want the SRT file, bear with me, you can actually just turn off this line here by clicking this hide track option. So now you've got the video captions generated, you've downloaded the SRT file so that you can then upload that into, say, YouTube as the SRT file. But you want a clean copy for YouTube, so all you'd need to do then is go up here, click export, and then you do the video, you do the audio, because you obviously want the noise, but you don't necessarily need to do the captions. And then all you would do, once it's done its copyright check, so let it finish doing that, that's a great thing that CapCut does, and click export, and it's going to save that video for you as an MP4 with no captions on, so that it's all ready for you to upload onto YouTube. Now, if you wanted to upload this to, say, TikTok or another platform, say Facebook, or even LinkedIn, where the caption options aren't there, in other words, you want it to have the captions burnt on so that people can read what you're saying rather than having the volume up, for example, then all you need to do is turn that track back on and it will download the video with those captions showing. So you've got full control of whether you want your captions on or off. So now that it's exported that video for you, it's actually giving you some options. The video is saved to your desktop or laptop, or you can share it directly to TikTok if you want by signing into TikTok on here. You can share it directly to YouTube if you want by signing in here. It is actually generating a TikTok video size version for you automatically inside of this CapCut editor. So it says here long videos, so it's actually creating those for you. So if you don't want to share it automatically, all you need to do is just cancel there and you're back to your editor. So if you have any questions about how to use the CapCut editor on the desktop, I've shown you briefly some of the features, but not all of the features. So if you want to learn more, don't forget to hit the subscribe button of this channel. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Don't forget to go and try out CapCut. And if you do make videos using CapCut, don't forget to tag me in them so I can take a look. Okay, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.